It is gig time again, time for my second ever Jesus Jones gig at the 229. I don't even know where that is, but I'm gonna find out. Let's go. was amazing. Check out the strobe lighting in my bedroom. I'm doing the wrap up in my living room because my bedroom's got some kind of disco flickering lights happening. So here I am with Frodo and Harry, not in keeping with my theme, but let's run with it. That gig was everything I needed today, this month. It's been 6 weeks since my last gig and it just feels like forever. And it's been, as is the theme of this year, it's been a stressful month. I was all set to let's get some regular YouTube videos going, and my health went down the pan, as it so often does. I had a stomach upset, I think because I was taking antibiotics, because I had dental surgery, everything was happening. And then an eye condition flared up. I had to spend a morning in A&E, all fun things. And I was doing okay. Until today. Now, if you're new to the Scruffy Storms experience, this is a stressful year in general for me because my parents are very ill and they're in another country, and I also decided to start a new job, which is my most senior and challenging job I've ever had. It's all been a bit stressful. And today was not a good day. I was made to feel incompetent at work in a way that I felt was unjustified. I stand by the decision I made that was deemed to be incorrect. But then I was made to look a fool in front of other colleagues, and it was all bad, and I just ended up spending the afternoon crying, basically. Luckily, I was working from home, so no one saw. But it was one of those days, with all the extra stress in my life, I just couldn't cope with that. And even on the tube on the way to the 229, which was a new venue to me, exciting. I was still feeling kind of tearful, but I just had to go there. I had to go see Jesus Jones. So for me, Jesus Jones are a band in my own personal music mythology, my music fan life. I was a huge fan, in 1991 at the era of Doubt. They were my favorite band, but I was a fickle young thing in those days. I was 16, and I just, they got booted from my favorite band spot by Ride, and then the next year Manic Street Preachers, and I still followed them through the Perverse era, and I had bought Liquidizer and stuff, so the first 3 albums are a big part of my musical youth. But then by the time I came to London, I'd kind of abandoned them, which is my folly, because they were still making brilliant music in 97, which is when I came to London, and I could have seen them live then. So many times I could have seen them live over the year, but I didn't see them till last year. 30 years, it took me 30 years to see them live. My first Jesus Jones gig was at the 100 Club last year, and that was incredible. I don't have a vlog for it, but there's a pretty good quality blog post, I think, on my blog with lots of pictures. So I'll link that down below. It was just a revelation of how fantastic they were, and it elevated them, into, instead of just being a band that I thought, oh yeah, I loved them back in the day. It's like, no, they are one of my all-time favorite bands now, which is how I always should have thought of them. And I was so eager to see them again, and I didn't get the chance until tonight. So, there I was, going to the 229, and a very cool venue. I really liked it. And the DJ, it was Utah Saints DJing, which is another blast from the 90s. And I thought I'd get a drink because it was that kind of day. I needed a drink. I may have already had a drink before I left. I may be having another one right now. This is a bit of whiskey. I'd probably have a bit more. The queue for the bar was insane. It went on for half an hour to get to the bar. It was pretty terrible. But I got my wine, and then by that time Utah Saints had finished. I was in the queue while they were doing something good, and everyone was raving in the queue to the bar. But the good thing was, because they had finished, obviously by the time I got my drink, everyone else was going to get their drink or going to the loo or whatever. So I was able to sneak right to nearly the front, which was very important because I realized, I'm pretty sure this is the first gig I've been like close to the front since last year, since I think the Charlatans in December. All the gigs I've been to so far this year, I've been quite a lot further back, and I love being close to the front. I love being as close to the band as I can be. And that was amazing. And then, you know, so there I was with my wine in a fabulous venue in central London, and then all of a sudden one of my all-time favorite bands is on the stage, and the day went from horrible to amazing in the flick of a switch. It was incredible. And I do have to say, the 100 Club gig last year was fantastic, and I was right at the front there. But this was better because it was more of a standard venue. You know, they were up high like a band should be. You know, the 100 Club, they're just sort of like knee high. But yeah, they were up there. I had a proper view of the full stage, and they were just so incredible. This is one of the things about Jesus Jones that makes them so magical for me, is that because I've only just started seeing them live, I'm still getting used to what the Jesus Jones live experience is like. And to be able to say that about one of my all-time favorite bands at the age of 47 is just, it's so, I feel so lucky. I feel just so lucky as a music fan. But they were on fire. They're just, I've seen them twice. They've been brilliant both times. I can't imagine them not being brilliant. If I can be a little trivial, I do have to say, Mike Edwards, what a joy, what a thing of beauty to behold. My personal crack cocaine is, my drug of choice is a hot bloke with a guitar singing incredible rock songs, being a rock star on stage, and Mike Edwards, he fulfills all of that. And he looks the same as 30 years ago. Like, okay, like a tiny bit more lines on his face, but my God, how many portraits in the attic has he got? They're just so brilliant. There's so much energy, so much fun. So many amazing songs, so many brilliant songs. Like Song 13 is like, it's just an album track from their first album, and I just listened to it obsessively when I was a teenager because it's just got this sort of dark, overwhelming sort of air of sinister sort of hypnoticism. That's just so incredible, and it's just wonderful that it's in their live set. You know, when I think about me at age 16 or 17 or whatever, and I used with my cassette and just rewinding, listening to that song over and over. And here in 2022, I get to see them perform it. Like, I never would have thought, even back then, because it was just an album track, I never thought, even if I got to see Jesus Jones live, that they'd do that one. And the hits are incredible as well. You know, everything just takes me back to those days. The Devil You Know, for example, is just like pure January 1993. Because I remember that was the first CD single I bought in 1993. It was the first one I had that had 1993 written on it. And it was like, yes, new music has started for the year. It's Jesus Jones. And even though my era, like my main era of being a Jesus Jones fan was 91, I still listened to them a lot in 93. And Zeros and Ones is another song they opened with that. That is was an amazing one from that time. And International Bright Young Thing. International Bright Young Thing is the song that made me a fan. And when I listen to it now, I feel like it really connected with me because of this line. When I thought I came from nowhere, I came from everywhere instead. And I can really see how that resonated with me. It resonates with me even now because I don't know if I've talked about this on the channel, but I have 3 nationalities. I'm British, Canadian, and Australian. Born British and Canadian and became Australian at the age of 9. Moved country so many times when I was a kid. And I really, it does give you the feeling that you come from nowhere when you have that kind of upbringing. But Jesus Jones told me I came from everywhere instead. at the age of 16. And, it's an important thing to hear when you have that kind of, it's hard to feel a strong connection with any particular place. I chose London. I came to London as soon as I was able to. But when you have that kind of upbringing, it's hard to feel a true sense of home, a true sense of belonging anywhere. But it's okay, because you can just belong everywhere. I'll need to, get my thoughts together and put a coherent blog post down, but it'll be a little while, because I'm now 4 gigs behind. I'm still writing about June. My next gig to write about is from June, but I'll get there. It's been that kind of year, but I just feel so lucky. The crowd, it was just a joy. Like, there wasn't any crush. There was a lot of space to dance. The crowd was just so happy. Everything was fun and friendly and joyous. And it was just everything I needed. Like, I honestly thought today, I was thinking to myself on the way to the gig, like, okay, I'm obviously heading towards a dip in my mental health, but it's okay, I'll get through it and I'll get back up. I don't think I am now. I think I'm okay. I think I'm just okay again, which may not last, but, it's one of those years. But thank God, literally, for Jesus Jones. And that's all I really want to say now. I need to drink some whiskey and eat some popcorn. I've got some popcorn as well. I've just seen it there. I'm going to have some because I'm hungry. And go to sleep. And hopefully, I have so many video ideas. I've just got, like, on my phone, I've got a whole note full of, like, 10 different ideas of videos to make that aren't gig vlogs, but just talky stuff about music that I want to do. Hopefully, I'll start doing that this month. Sometime I'll do it. But until then, thank you so much for watching. And I hope all is well with you where you are. And I will hopefully talk to you again very soon. Take care now.